sending. We are sending information, and sending information has been received. Totally received. So cool. So there's two guys here in British Columbia, and they do the same podcast as us, same but different. So they just sit down at superchargers. Hi guys, you will know yourselves if you know this, and they just What's happening? No, I'm not seeing myself, but it says I'm live. But we don't have. Yeah, wait a sec. Yes, wait a sec. It's happening. It's happening. This is the joys of live video, people. The joys of live video. Sometimes we see things that you don't see, and sometimes you don't see things that we see. This is awesome. Okay, so these two guys. They actually have a YouTube channel on electric vehicles. What their thing is they sit down at a Tesla supercharger with Tim Hortons cups. Yeah, I know some people like Tim Hortons. Sai, what's your favorite Tim Horton to get?
I like to get a double.
Double?
Yeah.
But what's that?
It's a coffee with double cream, double sugar.
Okay, so it's like
a double.
But is it an espresso? Is it like filter coffee? Like
filter.
Coffee? So it's just like a coffee.
Just a coffee with 2 creams, 2 sugar. Double.
Double. Wow, so that's like for the real Tim Hortons people.
That's me.
That's you?
Yep.
And do you take a small, medium, large?
Large.
How big is the cup compared to your head?
It's the size of my head. I would say it's pretty big. It's
the size of your head,
yeah,
right?
And it's $2.
Only $2?
It's $2.
Wow, this is like one of the last place that has decent coffee prices. Go to Tim Hortons, people. So these two guys, they're sitting down on like these, these chairs that you bring to, I don't know, camping? These kind of retractable chairs. Soft chairs, mushy chairs. You can fold them. Folding chairs, that's the name. You fold them, you put it in there, and then they talk about things like related to electric vehicles, just like Sai and I on our channel, 2 Girls, 1 Electric Car. But more recently, you know what these guys did? They were counting electric vehicles. I hope it's because of us. I hope it's because they copied us, Sai, right? That'd be great.
I think that's why.
We're getting like notoriously famous.
Yeah, super famous.
People are copying our ideas.
Exactly.
How good do you feel about this?
I think it's really good. It's a great compliment.
Exactly. Yeah. So imagine that. Our idea works so well that some people are copying it. This is so cool. If you guys are there in the live comment section, or if you know that other channel, I'm not going to say their name just because maybe they want to stay anonymous. I don't know. Well, you tell us, you put it in the comment section, and we'll hi to you guys that have an EV channel. If you know other electric vehicle channels, please make sure to tell them so that we can collaborate and build a stronger community all together. I mean, we're all kind of doing the same thing, but in our own way, because I'm Piper. And I'm with
Sai.
And we do a daily podcast from Monday to Friday. Yeah, it's daily, but only on weekdays when Sai is with me. At 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. So far, so good. Yeah. Make sure that you're there for the live version. That way you can interact with us live in the live comment section. It's way more fun when you're there in the live. Woo-hoo. If ever you miss it, don't worry, we have a podcast playlist, which you can find on our channel. It's called While You Wait for Your Electric Vehicle to Charge. You listen up, and you charge your human battery. Sometimes you need a little R&R. You need to listen to some cool podcasts, and we are one of those cool ones. The climate change, game change, I don't have the rest of the title, but what it means so far is that it's going to be about electric vehicles and climate change. And is it really happening? Is it not happening? So we'll open the ball by reading all of the comments that we have so far. We have Snoopsy's 100 who says toy car. Well, oh, you must have seen the banner. Yeah, in the banner there's a toy car. It's a Ford. I got it in my hands right now. I think it's a Ford. What is it? It's not a GT. It's like a Ford coupe. It's the Fast and Furious Ford. Imagine this, the Fast and Furious Ford. Where's my Vin Diesel at? You can open the front trunk, which is actually like the engine, and then the back opens, but in a weird way. And then you can also open the doors. Ooh, not Falcon doors. You know why? Because it's not a Tesla Model X. But it's okay. I mean, it's okay. The actual retroviseurs are in plastic, maybe, so when you back it up, you don't scratch them. And we also have Chris Pankich. Okay, let's get real with this. Are you ready? It's gonna get a bit fighty and a bit like debatey and a bit controversial, but we are going to go there because we're talking about climate change and electric vehicles. So Chris Pankutch says, climate change is not real. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Piper. This is Sai. We are two girls, one electric car. Cue in the music. Yeah, you got it.
So I guess we know where Chris Pankutch stands on this.
Yeah, we got his opinion, right?
Yeah, it's very subtle. It's hard to tell, but we kind of get it. Yeah.
Okay, you think you can read between the lines, right?
I think so, kind of.
Okay.
I feel like he kind of doesn't believe in it, but I'm not sure.
You're not 100%?
Yeah.
How much would you be, like 80%?
Probably 5%.
5%?
Yeah, it's really subtle. Like, I don't understand at all.
That is very, very subtle.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for sharing your opinion. We will have a poll in a second. Richard Heckley, hey, what's up? Thank you for being here. Howie N, hi, ladies. Hello, Howie. And now Snoopsy says, toy car fame. I don't know what that means, but we'll just roll with it. Yes, 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 and yes. Okay, great. Gold marker 89. Were you born in 89? I think that's the same year Taylor Swift was born, right, Sai?
Yeah, Taylor Swift was born in 89.
Just like her album, which is called 89.
Exactly.
1989.
Now everyone knows the year she was born because of her album.
Everybody knows. She can't lie about her age now.
Yeah, but why would she wanna?
She just wants gifts on her birthday, you think? That makes a lot of sense, right? You put your birthday there and your birth year, and then you get all the gifts.
Yeah.
But the problem is I don't even know what her birthday is. I only know the year she was born.
I think somewhere in December.
What? She's just like me?
I think so.
Have the same birthday? What? Taylor Swift, I hope you were born the same day as me. Let's Google this site. This is very important work you need to do right now. Let's Google when is Taylor Swift born. I hope she's born the same day as like one of the guys from Metallica. That'd be awesome. Like, like you know, if James Hetfield and Taylor Swift.
She is December 13.
13?
Oh my gosh, she's a Sag.
So close to me. So close. Tay, we just have a year difference and a few days. We could have been sisters, Tay. Imagine that. Oh my God, I'm sure she would have loved to have me as a sister. Why? Because I'm the total opposite of her. I do all this stuff she's never want to do. Okay, so December 13th, 1989. That's the year you need to send gifts to Tay for. Make sure you do it. If you don't want to, it's fine. I'm sure we can find another celebrity that has a birthday that is maybe more in tune with your liking. Because we are two girls, one electric car, and we are talking about climate change and electric vehicles.
And Taylor Swift.
Well, Taylor Swift has a bit to do with climate change because everybody's saying she's using her jet way too much right now.
She is. Like, she does some weird stuff, like going to the grocery or whatever, but that's what I read. I don't know.
How do you go to the grocery with your jet?
I know. Where
How
would
far
you even
is
park?
the grocery store?
But where would you park?
Yeah, where do you park? But Walmart has really big parking.
That big though? I don't know.
That big. I mean, I've slept in like parking lots at Walmart. Maybe Walmart, you could definitely park a jet there.
Oh wow.
I don't know. It's
insane.
big.
That's that statement. I slept in a lot of park and then like Walmart parking. That's a lot of unpack there. So we're not gonna go there.
Okay.
But yeah, that is.
But next
insane.
time we go to Walmart, I can unpack it with you. Slowly but surely.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll bring a notebook.
Great. It's going to be a Walmart story. This is going to be probably in the next episode. We have Carl de Burez who just tuned in. Hey, Carl. Thanks for being here. Chemist America Lifestyle. Hey. And his daughter, Kwame, probably there, probably at school, at kindergarten maybe. She's 4. It's Monday. Like, make her do some homework, you know?
But it's Victoria Day. Oh,
yeah. It's Victoria Day, but is he Canadian?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
Today it is, at the time of the recording of this podcast, it is Victoria Day. Or for all my Québécois, la fête des patriotes. Ouais, ça veut dire que tu vas pas travailler aujourd'hui. So that means that you don't go to work today, except for Sai, because it's a statutory holiday. Is that how we call it?
It's a federal, statutory, stat holiday.
Wow, this is so complicated.
Is it? It's just holiday, except for me.
It's a holiday, except for you.
Yeah,
because you like your job.
Yeah,
unlike most people.
Yeah.
Celebrate that.
Yeah, no, that's true, huh? I don't think Indigenous people should celebrate Victoria Day.
No, we shouldn't celebrate a lot of days, especially Thanksgiving. That is so much trauma.
Let's not celebrate Thanksgiving anymore in Canada, okay? This is great. Maybe even US, but I can't talk for you guys because I'm Canadian, so we'll just not go there right here, right now. Chris Pankutch says, okay, climate change activists take the rules for the That's how you pronounce it, right? The and not for me approach to fighting climate change. Okay, so you're going to need to translate this. I have no idea what this means. Climate change activists take the rules for the and not for me approach.
Oh, okay. So it means like they take the approach of like for you and not for me kind of approach, like it's for you and not for me. So isn't that a good thing though, Chris Pankaj? They're like it's for you, or maybe he's meaning like they enforce it on you.
Yeah, Chris is really
I'm doing it better for you. This is better for you.
Yeah.
Like I know what's better for me, dude. Leave me alone. Kind of like I think that's what he's thinking.
That makes sense because it's all pro-choice. Chris is more like pro-choosing. Okay, yeah, he says you're correct.
Pro-choosing for
you're
everything or just for this? Let's not go there.
Okay, great. Chris Pankage also has, what does the holiday represent? I think it's something about Queen Victoria. And in Quebec, it's about the Patriot, so it's about fighting the English. So yeah, that definitely did not work with me since I'm speaking English right here, right now. Walter Johnson, hey Piper. Hello, Walter. Chemist America Lifestyle. My stand on climate change is with Jordan Peterson. One must need to be rich first. Well, I kind of like that. That's the same reason I don't recycle. Don't have time for this. I mean, when I have enough money to maybe pay someone to recycle for me, I'll do it. Right now, this channel is not even monetized. So make sure that you support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/2girls1electric car. And don't worry, I drive an EV, so I'm kind of doing a little bit, not like nothing. But in that way, I guess me and Jordan might have more than just being Canadian in common. What's up, Jordan? What are you doing today? Call me. We would love to have you on the podcast, right, Sai? This would be so controversially great.
Oh, yeah, we should definitely. Oh, maybe he will. I think he will do it.
You think he would do it?
I think he will do it.
Just because, like, we're awesome.
Yeah, we're awesome. Plus, we are willing to listen, and we kind of like agree with a lot of his points. Not everything, but like a lot of his points.
Okay, so we would be your minions. Just for one night, you know. So this works fine. Call us, Jordan, or Jordan's PA or PR or whatever HR you got on there. That'd be awesome. Now, Chris Pankage says that's an awful example to preach and not practice. So you mean like preach and not practice, meaning that some of these green people, these climate change people that drive EVs would be preaching but not actually doing it? Is that what you mean? In that sense? So you're like oh yeah, I want to save the environment, but then I eat meat type of people? I think humans are very controversial and contradictory. This is something we all need to kind of come to terms with. People say stuff they don't do. People lie. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It's just like the way it is. Plus, you know what I learned, Sai? I learned something awful about my generation.
What?
That my generation lies more than all the other generations on the earth right now.
So like millennials, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
In focus groups, like to test some stuff for advertisement and all that, millennials are shown to lie more. Maybe they want to protect people more. Maybe it comes from like a nice spot.
Maybe. I feel like millennials are like kind of, they don't have a big backbone. Not you, because you're my boss. And
yeah, that solves everything.
you have two backbones.
Okay, I got two. Great.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
But
I stole one from somebody else because I'm a predator on my off time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's awesome. And so I think because of the system and the time they grew up in, there's a lot of like, they became like really, they don't have the confidence, I feel like. You know the whole thing about millennials, they don't want to talk on the phone, they rather text. If you call them, they get like anxiety. They don't even want to talk on the phone.
Oh.
That's the thing. I saw a meme about it, so I'm like, maybe.
If you saw a meme about it, must be true.
It is. How else do you get information?
Yeah, you don't, right? There's
exactly.
That's
so I think
makes sense.
but I think Gen Z, like my generation, is more like kind of like looking, there's a fire disaster happening. We know we're gonna die. Might as well enjoy the ride kind of thing. Like we know we're doomed.
Okay.
Whatever.
So you're less socially and climately anxious than millennials?
I think so. We kind of make fun of everything because it's not like we're better than anyone. It's just because we're all in the same boat.
You can't afford nothing, right?
Yeah, and we're singing, so whatever.
Let's just have fun while we sing. If you feel the same way, make sure that you comment because this is the podcast while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge or for climate change to be a thing. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you share this video with a friend. Super easy. There's a share arrow right down there. Click it, share it, is instantaneous and it will bring us more views, which will help us be monetized and make more awesome content like this one that you're listening to or watching right now. Okay. Chris Pankage says, you lie more because the repercussions are less. Oh, yeah, we didn't get beaten by our parents as much. That's a good point. Walter Johnson says, climate change, game changer. Nice title for talking about the climate change. Thank you, Walter. We had some help from Sai and ChatGPT. We love that guy. He's great. Chris Pankage, it was standard to lie and get your ass beat in my generation. That's just what I said, and I hadn't even read it. I know, it's great. You got the belt right. Some people did. It was no longer allowed. Yeah, we kind of had a thing. It's called... how's it called? Oh, this is... Yeah, it's called Don't Beat Your Kid Anymore. And it's also called like DPJ. Social Assistant Aid. It's called the police. It's called the police. Yeah, so we're not doing that now. We have other ways to educate and be mindful and, you know, be more in a optimism type of thing. But it's okay. I know some people still kind of got that. Some people are still getting that. Times are ever changing. I mean, Sai gets her information from memes. Do you see this?
What?
This
that
is true.
A great source of information.
Yeah,
where else are you gonna look for information?
Yeah, like the radio. Public radio, like
radio.
CBC.
I've never listened to radio
Well,
in my
that's what
entire
I'm
life.
saying. So see, times are changing. Most people are getting their information from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whereas like my generation or even older generations, like my master's generation husband, well, he was get it from newspaper, books, radio, and television a little bit.
Oh, I found a newspaper once on a subway train.
See? They still exist.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is what is going on, and we're talking about climate change. So we will do a little poll because we got people here. Do you believe in climate change? Yes or no? It's gonna be super easy, not more complicated. Do you believe in? I want to believe climate change.
Oh, X-Files. I know that reference.
It's a meme.
It is a meme, actually.
Of course it is. It's pop culture. It made it to a meme. Good for you, X-Files. Facebook and Skype also. Yeah, Skype. Well, Skype is more like really like talking to people. I guess Facebook is more something else. So do you believe in climate change? Let's start with that. Let's start with asking people. Sai, do you believe in climate change?
Yes.
Why?
Because I can see and hear and feel things.
Okay. All in one sense.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm able to perceive things and I can see the changes and I'm able to notice the differences in many things. So,
in many things.
Yeah. It's pretty logical to me.
So logic is something you need to have for this podcast and a lot more things. So I, Piper Blush, I actually do also believe in climate change because of data and science that I've seen so far. That's not just why I own an electric vehicle, but that is part of it. I mean, the main reason I own an electric vehicle is because my doors open in the Falcon way, just like all the more than $500,000 cars, and mine did not cost $500,000, so I was like, I'm getting that one. Plus it's an SUV, so I can put Sai in there, who doesn't take much space anyways.
Put Sai in there?
Yeah, and then put everybody
trunk.
else in there. Yeah, we would fit in the front perfectly. I think we can fit the two of us in the front, quite frankly.
How much rent?
Well, cheaper than your place, probably.
I'm Gen Z. I don't have money.
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
But I'm not sure you're gonna have a washroom, but you can go outside with the hobos.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you can plug your phone though.
Oh, that is awesome. Who needs the
you
washroom?
have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Wi-Fi, so that's good.
That's great.
Then toilet, well, you can probably plug a microwave.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can use that as a toilet as well.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Awesome.
See, that works. It works fine. So room for rent in my Tesla Model X. Yeah, you got the front trunk, and maybe we can arrange something. I mean, it's big enough to sleep in, that's for sure. I haven't tried it yet. I've only napped in it, but I'm sure I could sleep in it. No problem. Kind of problem, but just because I don't want to. But I could do it. So you tell me, people, do you believe in climate change? Go ahead. And let's talk about what is climate change, because so far we have 10 votes. 60% of our audience believes in climate change and 40% does not believe in climate change. Except
Wow,
for
that's
Chris.
a big number.
That's a big number, right? Except for Chris, please do make yourself known. If you voted, it's because you're logged in. So I want to know.
Yeah.
Please make research. Okay, leave us a comment right here, right now. Tell us why you don't believe in climate change, because this is what we're talking about right now. Chris Pankich goes with Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Yeah, pretty older than Sai, right? And myself put together. Imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that.
I am
You
trying
plus
to
me
imagine.
does not equal Earth.
No,
No,
it doesn't.
it's old, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I eat carnivore. They always somebody or on the losing end. So I just try my best to be good. Oh, well, I mixed a whole bunch of comments together. Wait a second. Earth, 1.5 billion years old.
4.5.
4.5 billion years old. We have the best 250 years of recorded data. Let's think about that. Well, yeah, we didn't record before. We didn't know how to write. Like,
Are
this
we?
is-
Are,
this is the
are we?
thing.
Is this saying that the Earth is only 250 years?
Well, I think what he's saying is that like the avenue of writing and press, I guess that's press. So press,
Collecting that.
yeah,
Yeah.
collecting data and having these organisms and this worldwide net
Yeah.
of people that decide to come together and are like, okay, let's start a book on how often does it rain.
Okay.
That kind of data.
But what about the data of the fossils that we found? They're really, really old, millions of years
Yeah.
old.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
It doesn't count?
But it seems like it doesn't. It's only recorded data, right? So all of that for Chris, I think does not count.
The tree with the circle. And
Yeah, the tree with the circles inside, all that petroleum. No. Okay, that's good to know. And then we have it just changed. It changed. We're at 62%. We convinced some people.
Oh, we
Sai.
convinced 2%.
We convinced some people that climate change is real. Well, where's my Greta at? Where you at, Greta? Like, you should call us, share this video, Greta. We're doing some work for you right here, right now. Chemist America Lifestyle says, no, is that IMO Sai or is it?
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay, in my opinion, whatever I do, I eat carnivore. There's always somebody on the losing end. Yeah, like the cow.
Yeah.
So I just try my best to be good. I think it was interesting point to say that everybody has a conscience. Most people, except if you're a serial killer, but most people are not serial killers. So we all try to do something about it. But in the end, we are all here for a very short time. Sorry, we're all here for a very short time. So we want to do the best out of it, and washing your Ziploc bags is just too time consuming for most people to be able to live a greater life. So let's just put it like that. Now, Walter Johnson says, yes, I believe in climate change. Wonderful, just like us, Walter. Chris Pankich corrects. We have been collecting data for 250 years of 4.5 billion. Yeah, we weren't even there for some of those years. So, of course, we can't collect data when we're not
When
there.
you expect the T-Rex to collect data,
They can't even write, right?
His hands are so short. You
Yeah.
can't expect him to do everything.
No, it's true. It's
That's why we
true.
don't have
Yeah,
any
just like that,
T-Rex
side. Just like so cute. No, not possible. And then how can we make an accurate assessment that humans are changing climate? Well, I mean,
200 years is pretty accurate.
I think 200 years is a lot of cumulative data. Plus,
How much more do you need?
yeah, good point. How much more do you need? And also the other fact about this is that it doesn't mean that we weren't accumulating data before, that we don't have this data. The way it is with dinosaur fossils, all of the technologies and the sciences that we've implemented makes it so that we can kind of go back in time and see how it was before we were collecting data. That's why they have these special machines that go in the Antarctica or in the ice, and then they find the layers, a bit like in a tree, and they can see like how much oxygen and how much CO2 was on Earth at that time, because it's been kind of fossilized, crystallized in ice, which is really interesting. How many pollutants, deposits, like they can tell all of that with this kind of carrot that they take from ice. They can do that from Earth too, but it's a bit different in that way. So that for me is quite interesting. And yes, okay, so the Earth, the Mother Earth, whatever, Father Earth, call it however you want. It's not gender anymore. Well, you can actually tell that it's getting hotter, right? It's getting hotter. Sai, you hot?
I'm pretty hot.
Yeah, see, it's getting hotter. It's getting hotter. Stuff is definitely... Walter, we will not go there. Don't go there, Walter. This is not this type of episode. Okay. So what is climate change? Climate change and EVs. This is what we're talking about on While You Wait, the podcast that aims to entertain you and go into crazy subjects like, is climate change real? And how can we change it, do it better, everything like that. Ask my parents. Well, that would help if I would talk to them. But since I have the internet and I have information and all that, I mean, everybody has their own view. People say that it was better when they were younger, but you were young. So how can you really say that? I trust data way better than I trust somebody's saying about something in general. But that's just me. Chemist American Lifestyle says, yes, I believe in it because humans produce energy and addicted to energy. Yes, we are addicted to energy. You're watching us right now on possibly something that consumes energy and that was built somewhere by someone with a whole bunch of materials that don't really exist in that form on Earth. Like, they need to be changed to make it so they are now your phone, your computer, desktop, whatever. Okay, Chris is saying we're being brainwashed. This is amazing.
But what about the glaciers? Does Chris not believe the glaciers are melting? They're literally melting and shrinking in size. Is everyone lying? It's not even possible.
People are too lazy to lie that much, right?
Exactly. Plus, different governments. Like, why would everyone lie? Oh, yeah, let's all band together and lie about glaciers melting. Why?
Yeah.
Like,
what's the purpose?
They never come together or anything. They will come together. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. Plus,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's the way for you to also see that they are melting. There are places, Antarctica, for example, how cold it used to be. It's not as cold anymore and stuff like that.
You know what happens in Canada? You know all these, like, how do you call them? Crazy chickens? Those things? Like the Canada goose?
Oh, yeah, the killer chickens.
Killer chickens.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what's happening with the killer chickens here? They're
Yeah.
not going to Florida anymore.
No, they're all here.
They're staying here because it's so warm now that they can stay here. They don't even migrate. So
No.
now we need to kill them because there's too many.
Poor killer chickens.
Well, they're going to get killed now. That's what's going to happen. Killer chicken's going to be killer. Woohoo! The thing is, EVs are definitely helping or not helping. I mean, Chris, you got an EV. Like, why did you get it if you don't believe in climate change? This is gonna be so much fun. Okay, so what do EVs do with climate change? That's what we're talking about in this podcast. Climate change versus EV, climate change, EV. Turn it around however you want. The thing is, we are talking about electric vehicles and climate change and the effects that it's going to have. So this poll is still running. Do you believe in climate change? We'll leave it there a little bit longer just to make sure that we can convert people to the dark side. Yeah, and that is the side that believes that actual climate change exists. Okay.
It's going to be dark.
And it's gonna be freaking dark later. Just this summer is gonna be super dark in British Columbia because of all the wildfires. And the thing is, the earth is getting hotter. And it's not because I'm on it, though. Thank you for the compliment. It's really because, I mean, we have some things that makes the earth hotter. We've been beating records every single summer. Every single summer we've been beating heat records. Why is that? For nothing? No good reason? Just because the earth feels a bit hot? It's menopausing? I don't know. But this is definitely something happening there. Walter Johnson says, I like the nature, good, clean, good energy. I agree. You think Earth is the only thing with seasons? What do you mean? Everybody has seasons, like seasons? Like seasons, right? Like, you know, winter, spring, summer, fall, these kind of seasons. I mean, I don't know, I've never been to Mars, but I would love to. Do you believe in solar changes? Of course, the sun is changing, evolving and all that. And of course, Earth is changing. But that does not mean that what we're doing on it has no effect on Earth. I mean, yes, Earth will be fine. It will just eradicate us like it has done with everything else in the past. Earth will take over. But that doesn't mean we're not going to leave it scarred. With like the parasite that we are. So this is what's happening on Two Girls, One Electric Car. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because it is free. One of the rare things that is still free, and it's not gonna make the earth get warmer because you subscribe. So there you have it. It's great. The comment section is on fire. Make sure you stay here because we got that joke at the end, right, Sai?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Always, always. Because we have seasons in our solar system and galaxies. Okay, great. Find that with NASA, maybe? We do need more cold water in the air to keep it cool for summer. Yeah, this is kind of complicated. Let's not go that far because I'm not a meteorologist. Howie Ann says, when you get wildfires in countries that don't normally have them, that must say something. Totally agree, Howie. Totally agree. I mean, even in British Columbia, we had a lot of wildfires and we have a good history of wildfires, but in Quebec not that much, like a little bit in the like northern side, but even Quebec last year it was crazy with the wildfires, and it's not something that you usually get that much of. Even Alberta, we're beating records, people, we're beating records. Chemist America Lifestyle, EV is way more efficient than ICE cars. It doesn't mean it's good, just lesser evil. Well, yeah, we were gonna go right down there. Don't go anywhere. Chemist America Lifestyle is happening. Chris Pankage says, regulation prevent California from taking care of the fire issues. I have no idea about California, but the thing is, I mean, California has a desert issue. It's a desert, for one. And then the water there is kind of spiced, like there's not much of that word.
Okay. Sparse.
That word. Thank you, Sai. So this is different. Here we do have a lot of water, natural water, clean water, whatever water you can drink that has no salt in it, that type of water. But the problem is, in some places in British Columbia, they don't get rain. So there's just it gets really dry. And you know, like when you have a whole bunch of like matchsticks all together, boom, sometimes it explodes. So this is gonna get very interesting very fast. Let's go to the main question. Do EVs really fight against climate change? Is your EV making a difference for climate change? Sai, what do you think about this?
I think they do definitely help, because you're not burning fuel and like all of that stuff that you do with like the gasoline cars. So I think it does help. How much does it actually affect is to be seen, I feel, but depends on how much you think, again, is the damage that's been done. But I'm pretty sure it's not, I like to believe it's not that bad that we can't bring it back and reverse it in some way. Okay.
Let's start reversing. Are you ready for this? Let's do it. So we got a bit of an urgent situation. I mean, for those of you who do believe in climate change, well, it's a bit like everything we do right now for climate change is going to take into effect within like 100 years. So it's already there. It's not going to get like better overnight. No, it's not. It's not like, okay, yeah, tomorrow we just switch everything and then bam, it's good. No, we should have done that like, 100 years before, and then we would have been okay. But now it's too late, not too late. So meaning we need to take action right now so that later it's not worse. And this is kind of the whole point with environment, right? You want to leave like a beautiful earth for your children, grandchildren, or whatever progeny you will have or not have. That's what you want to do. So there is this kind of communal and societal weight to it, meaning that you want Earth to be better for the humans of the future, like you wished your humans of the past would have let you that. Like there's some cool things that the humans of the past let us, like internet, this is pretty cool. And other great inventions. So we want to do the same thing for the future humans out there. Yeah. Now, the problem is definitely greenhouse emissions, or what we like to call CO2. And there is some out there already in nature. It exists. We need a little bit. Some plants love it. That's why when you talk to your plant, it's happy. Because you're literally breathing onto it. Like that. Yeah. And well, it loves CO2. So it's just like eating all of that and giving you O2 in return. Woohoo! Great. This is awesome. So you should definitely start talking to your plants. Sai, do you talk to your plants?
That's another thing it reminded me of, like when you were talking earlier about how it's complicated, humans are complicated depending on what they eat and why they eat. There are people that take this one of these points, like you talk to your plant so it's happy. Use that as like, oh, I can't eat meat, but I also can't eat plants because they have feelings too. And stuff like that. So
then what do you eat? You die?
I don't know. Maybe beans. They don't have feelings of beans that came from a plant. I don't know. Like there are actually people saying feel bad for the plants because they eat
because
them.
It does have a sort of nervous system. So a plant can feel. It feels.
That's
things.
the thing. As people as like you can't eat plastic man-made stuff. You have to eat stuff that comes from nature, whether that's animals or plants. And nature produces life, so you are at the end of the day are eating life. That's just a food chain. That's just how it works.
Yes, that's very rational. That's very rational. You need to eat, so you eat. That's it.
Exactly.
Let's just like try to make less pollution while we eat in the best way possible.
Yeah, you're supposed to eat from nature. That's why.
You die.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you want to beat a world record, then you eat a TV, but that's different. It's not going to bring you nutrients. Just
Plus,
a world
they are
record.
meant to be eaten. If we don't eat anything that's meant to be eaten, it just wouldn't work.
Imbalance, right?
Yeah, so...
Okay, so let's not go into the imbalance, people. Let's stay in the balance. With Two Girls, One Electric Car, because while you wait for your electric car to charge, we are here to entertain you and bring you electric vehicle information. And this subject, seems to be like, so sparky right now. So let's see in the live comment section. The majority of the power generated in the United States of America is natural gas, followed by coal, hydro, wind, and solar. Yes, we're still at that level because we are only in 2024 at the time of this recording, and some countries, mostly emerging countries, do not yet have, the money to invest in renewable energy in that way. Chemicals in the battery pollute more than gasoline. Well, that's interesting because we've seen articles that have disproven this, meaning that you can later on resell the battery, recycle the battery, and do something else with it in that way. Aoi adds, this is a myth that all cows in the world put more methane in the atmosphere when they fart. Is it a myth? I don't know. You want to Google that science? See what happens?
Do I have to?
Go on the dark side of Google.
Do I have
Go
to do
there.
that?
You don't have to do nothing, but I mean, it would be funny.
I mean, why would you ask that question to us? Do we look like methane fart? People?
We're not cows.
Yeah.
Okay, Chemist America Lifestyle says ICE car lose 80% of its energy through heat. It's likely every dollar of fuel you only use 20 cents to move the car. This is true. Electric motors are way more efficient than gasoline ones. Just a fact. Just a fact. So that leads us to, yes, we want more sustainable, renewable energy to power any type of electric vehicle or any type of thing you have in your home. We want that. Everybody wants that. Total 3-ugger myth. Oh, they were getting with the bad words. I love it. Zero emission drive. That's the number one point. So we all want to drive something that has zero emissions. I mean, even Chris, who's anti-climate change, has a Kona. So that says a lot about the world we live in right now.
So the cows produce 70 to 120 kilograms of methane per year, but not all of them are farts. Some are burps.
Oh, they burps too?
Yeah, so I did that for you.
Thank you very much, Sai.
Yeah,
you deserve a gold star. I'll give you one after the show.
Howie, and I will remember that.
Good thing Howie's a Patreon. Thank you, Howie, for supporting us. Sai went the extra mile just for you. Okay, zero tailpipe emissions. And that was Sai was saying that a little bit earlier, is that EVs emit zero tailpipe emission. They don't have a tailpipe. You don't have a tailpipe. You can't put a potato in it. It does not exist. Don't try it. There's none. There's a battery and that's it. So if you go with EV, you're not emitting anything like that. Why is that so great? So no CO2, no NOx, and no little particulate matters that you would bring in your breathing system, you know? So you're taking all of that away. Okay, let's not go there, guys, in the live comments. Let's just not go there. Let's come back to EV. Let's move away from cows, okay? I wish we could ride cows everywhere, but so far they don't go 120 miles per hour, so we're not doing that. That being said, having EVs reduces the emissions in a general sentence, right? We all can agree that driving an electric vehicle makes it so there are less pollutants, is that how you say it? Pollutants in the air that we breathe every single day. It's just a fact. Now, we are gonna say the same thing I always say because it's funny, but if you go in your garage, you close all the doors and you open your EV up, you start it, you press the accelerator, you will still be okay. You will not die of asphyxia. But if you do that with your gasoline vehicle, you don't have for long. So please don't do that. Please don't do that. Leave the garage door open, take the car out, and actually drive it somewhere because it's not good for you. It's not good for you. It literally, you are breathing in all these pollutants, and you don't want to do that. So, electric vehicles do impact the earth and the air we breathe right away. If you have an EV and you're driving an EV, you are polluting less in that sense. The air you emanate from the EV is cleaner than an ICE vehicle. That is that. Nothing else. Right, Sai?
Sure.
We agree.
Yes, we agree.
Okay, great. We agree. Super easy. Make sure that you share this video because while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge or for the cows to create enough methane for us to have climate change, well, you need to actually share the video so that we can get more views, more people interested in electric vehicles and in climate change in general. So let's go down there right now. We have Chris Pankage who says, what is the difference in a muffler running or a power plant running more for EV chargings? Well, you're going too far. We could say like, what's the difference between you would need to say what's the difference between a power plant running and extracting actual gasoline. That would be the main thing. You can't compare the muffler running to the power plant because that's just not the same thing. The power plant would be more like harvesting the petroleum. That's more like it. And then the thing is, once you get to that point where you have the actual electricity or where you have the actual gasoline, well then how it's used is completely different. I mean, you still need to transform that energy or that like gasoline into power. So it goes into the combustion engine. It needs oil. It needs all these other things to like blow up and then create this power. Whereas the electric motor is just taking that electricity and converting it into propulsion or like, you know, the other one, propulsion or moving in that sense. So it's depleting the battery, but it's not creating any residual. There's not another thing that's happening within the battery. It's just you're depleting the battery. You're not creating another transformation. There's like not that much physics, I guess, in there. If you disagree, make sure you fight in the live comment section. Yeah, we love some good fighting. Okay, catalytic converter makes the gas expelled turn into CO2 for plants for food. Okay, this is yeah. The catalytic.
I put my plant in the garage.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I put my plants in the garage so they can thrive. You know.
And turn on the car.
And turn on the car, and then you eat all these snow peas.
Give, like,
They love it, right? They love it. They just love it. They love it. Okay, so the thing is, the catalytic converter, again, not a scientist, not an engineer, just a YouTuber on the internet with my PA side that does the research for everything we do here. The catalytic converter is actually to make sure that these emissions, so the stuff your ICE vehicle, so gasoline vehicle, is outputting in the world is not gonna kill nobody real fast. Yeah, that's what it's for. So it's to diminish all of these pollutants. And it works pretty well because we have like what is called the norms in Canada, United States, wherever. And every single ICE vehicle needs to respect these norms. So they take like, I don't know, a little bit of post-its, like sticks, and then they calibrate or calculate how much pollutant you're putting out with this vehicle. And there's a norm, so it has like to go into these stats or else, no, not good. Go to the drawing board again. In that sense. Now, Snoopsy says AOC, I think, would be the difference. What is AOC? Sai, what's AOC?
I will let you know very soon.
Atomic Online Consulate. Okay, great. KV, the power plant is outside the city and not poisoning the air of everyone on the street. So KV, thanks for dropping in. Meaning that the power plant is outside. This is true, but we're talking about like a whole entire environment. So we're talking about not polluting at a like mondial, so a worldwide scale. In that sense, like you remember, no, probably because nobody was born, but in the 18th century, so that's in the 1800s, so 19th century, but they used to do when they had all these big industries, they would put the chimney super high. Yeah, super high, because they thought, you know, if we push this high enough, it's not gonna have any impact on us.
Yeah, just our air and stuff. It doesn't matter, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
No.
far up.
Yeah, it's far up, so
Yeah.
it's not affecting us, right?
Clouds in the sky has nothing to do with us.
No,
at all.
once it's the sky, it's away.
Exactly. That's the logic. It's super far from me. I can't reach it. It's away.
Yeah. So even though we have these power plants and these things like that, well, we still need to kind of understand that this is affecting everybody. I mean, the fires in Quebec affected people in New York, and that's why it's a global issue and not just a me with my pants issue, because everything you do has an effect on other people right now. That's how the climate is. It doesn't have borders. The climate doesn't. It just goes wherever it wants. So we have a KV who says even cold powers EVs is cleaner than a gas car. Batteries are fully recyclable even today. Show me 1 gallon of gas that has been recycled. Ooh, this is good. But very different, very different. Gasoline is like, it's not the end product. That's the thing. It's not the end product, whereas the electricity is kind of the end product. There's nothing else. You just deplete the battery and then it's over. In that sense.
When I Google AOC, the only thing that comes up is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the politician from New York.
Okay.
She goes by AOC, actually.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
she goes by AOC. I have no idea what AOC means. So whenever somebody can explain it in
I will
a
Google
comment,
some more.
we will definitely do that. I'm a chemist, but not my field at all. Okay, so great. Because chemist, America Lifestyle is a chemist, but maybe not that chemist. There's a whole types. There's many types of chemists. Not everyone is Walter White. Okay, RP says. Why you used to joke that all their pollution blows to the mainland. Now it's a very green state. But this, let's just push it. Let's buy huge blowers and let's just push it away.
No, it's only her. AOC is only her. There's no other AOC in the world.
There's no, okay. That's it. Perfect.
That's
We're going to go with that for now. Tiger 311. Hey, thank you for being here on Two Girls, One Electric Car. Our podcast is called While You Wait for Your Electric Vehicle to Charge. Well, we aim to entertain you and bring you EV information. Thank you for subscribing, joining, tuning in, listening. Do whatever you want with this podcast. We love it. Been hearing the Earth is about to cook since I was a kid. That was a long time ago. Well, we are cooking more than we were.
It's just, human lifespan is really short compared to how the Earth's lifespan is.
Yeah, 4.5 billion,
yeah,
right?
it's not, like it will happen in 10 years. That's not how the Earth is literally 5 billion years old or whatever. So her lifespan is different. So for her, it is going pretty fast. For us, it might not be.
Yeah.
But it is, like, in terms of Earth, it is.
Exactly. So that's what you need to consider, people. It's very different. Us and Earth are not on the same like map for time at all. It's just like if you were to talk about like a vampire and you. They don't die, these people. But we do. So Earth has been there for a long time and it's gonna stay there for what we've know. Like another 5 billion years. 500 billion years, I think Earth is like, it's still there. It's still there. When the sun gets off, maybe it's gonna be like, okay, this is enough with this solar system. We'll move to another one.
And Elon Musk will still have money.
And Elon Musk will still have money,
Plus,
as we calculated.
The sun is gonna die in 5 billion years, so the Earth is gonna do
Exactly.
whatever it is. So
yeah, it's gonna happen all at the same time.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
turn the light off, everything. Turn the light off.
Yeah, right. You go to sleep or you explode or whatever.
Yeah. So you choose any exit you want, but in general, this is gonna be an exit there. Number 2. Powered by renewable energy. Yes, we did talk about this. Climate change and electric vehicles. What's up with that? Is climate change true? And does your EV help with climate change? Or does purchasing an electric vehicle make a difference within how climate change is affecting Earth right here, right now, at the time of the recording of this podcast? Because I'm Piper and this is
Sigh.
the researcher, and we're here to bring you all this awesome information and have fun with it. So, powered by renewable energy. I mean, even KV said that if you use coal to power your EV, it's still less polluting than if you were to use gasoline or coal to power your gasoline car in that sense. That being said, we need to minimize that kind of footprint. We need to use energy more intelligently because as much as nothing gets created, rien ne se perd, rien ne se crée. So nothing gets lost, nothing gets created, everything gets transformed. There is a time frame for every element on Earth, and at one point we will deplete all of it. Like, we will deplete all of it. It's true. Now, it doesn't mean that we have no more petroleum. So far, they're finding petroleum again for some reason, and we are moving towards more renewable energies. So the Mad Max scenario is kind of unlikely right now, because we have all of these other things that we've invested in. Either it be nuclear, solar, wind, even hydrogen cars and electric vehicles, so just battery powered in that sense. With everything we got right here, right now, there's a big chance that, yeah, that's not gonna happen. But that does not mean that all of the other elements that we're using to create computers, to create tables, whatever, glasses, are gonna stay there forever. At one point, there's some sort of recycling that you cannot do. Once something has been transformed, it's transformed, and then you can't necessarily always bring it back to its previous form. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I really want a scientist to be on the show because I'm not sure everything I'm saying is true, but it makes sense in my head. So we'll just go with that for now. Powered by renewable energy, meaning that it would be so mega awesome if all EVs were literally powered by renewable energy. Why? Because that kind of goes with the EV mindset, right? That kind of goes with the fact that you're buying an EV so that you don't pollute the air you breathe right here, right now. I'm not talking about constructing the EV before or after. I'm really talking only about what you're breathing right here, right now. It's less noise pollution, it's less pollution in the air. It's just less of everything. Plus, you get instant torque. This is the little sweet deal you get when you're actually purchasing an electric vehicle. Now, Chris Pankage says they have no idea. These people, who are they? This is always cool. These people, they travel in jets and tell us what to do and never do it themselves and get rich off of it and have for decades. Drill, baby, drill. We've learned that one, right, Sam? The drill, baby, drill. We should make a song about this.
Yeah, we should. But Chris Pankage, he's very, very pessimistic, it seems. There's
even more than you.
Yeah, I'm not pessimist. Sorry. True, fair, touche. But
but it's true.
It is true. But
you're a Gen Z. I mean, your whole thing is that, right?
Why do I even bother?
See, this is a Gen Z thing. But Chris is even worse.
He is, because he's separating himself from the people who go in jets. I want to be the people that Chris hates.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I want to be in the jet. And look at Chris. He's hating me.
Chris is a rock star. Yeah. Chris could be in a jet right now.
Exactly.
He does show. He's a musician. He's an artist.
Does he not want his jet? Does he want to donate it?
You want to donate it to us?
Yeah.
We're accepting gifts. We just need to say it to the CRA, right, Si? We're going to say it to the CRA.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's put in the CRA. Now, Richard Heckley says, Hoover Dam runs on water. Yep, that's a fact. There's water electricity too, hydroelectricity. We have here, they don't use fuel or gas or anything, just run by water. I don't think so many people know that. Well, if you're from Canada or from Quebec in particular, you know a lot about hydroelectricity because we have a lot of hydroelectricity in Canada for some reason. Mostly West Coast and East Coast. There's a lot of clean energy in BC. Even the newer charging station that we see that are offered by Hydro BC are made with water electricity. It says it on the actual charger. It says made with only renewable energy. This energy is clean and it's really from only water. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Thank you for saying it. Chris Pankage says I offset my carbon footprint with electric cars. Well, that works. And then Chris says I'm a realist. I have been on the planet for 50 years. No, I mean, that makes sense. We all have different experiences and we've all lived through a different era, plus in a different city, country, and everything like that. So we all have a different vision of the world, and that is why we're talking about climate change and electric vehicles. Does your EV really make a difference with climate change? I'm Piper. This is
Sai.
And we are on the podcast that's called While You Wait for Your Electric Vehicle to Charge, You Listen into the Podcast. You're waiting for your wife to be ready. You're waiting for her to fill up her ICE vehicle. Well, great. Listen to us. Chemist America Lifestyle. I said it before. I drive EV mainly for the savings. It helps with climate and a side effect. It's true. I mean, you don't need to necessarily be a crazy about the environment person to buy an electric vehicle. As long as you try electric, maybe you'll just convert for the instant torque, the making it possible for you to charge at home and never go to the gas pump ever again. It has a lot of really, really great things about it that are absolutely not related to saving the environment. But I guess this is just one of the uppers of getting an EV. And then you're doing something else as a plus, like Chemist America Lifestyle says. I mean, he has a daughter that's only 4 years old, so maybe it's still pretty cool to leave her a cleaner earth, or for her to be driving, or like driving, but she's not driving, she's 4. Maybe with FSD, I don't know. Well, for her to be in a vehicle that is really polluting the air in that sense. What about, oh my God, Snoopsy, we've went over this. Electric cars burning spontaneously is not a thing.
It's not a thing. It's very rare. The most in research that they found is the hybrid cars, that even more than ICE cars.
Yeah. So hybrids explode more. Second best is gasoline vehicles. Third best is electric vehicles. So if you're scared about your car exploding, you should not buy EV. You should not. You should not buy hybrid. Hybrid's the number 1. You should not buy a gas vehicle. You should buy a Tesla or any type of electric vehicle because they explode less. In general, this from the stats that we've found. Same as Chemist America Lifestyle, totally cheap to fuel at home. Torque is a plus. Okay, great. Robin Petit, hey, that's that Aptera guy. A number of groups are designing and building extremely efficient planes. One can power by hydrogen and electricity, and there are always small planes that are totally electric. Yeah, they just need to be really small. Like really small, because as soon as you go cargo, as you go bigger, it's very difficult to have a plane be like on board with all of that. From what I've read so far, not saying they will not be able to do it, but so far having like really like a solar plane is kind of not possible. The physics of it just doesn't really work. Again, I'm talking like WestJet, you know, having like Air Canada, a flight from Montreal to Paris, only solar is not in the specs right now. Like, no. But I'm still like looking forward to it if ever it happens. So what is renewable energy? Yes, it would be energy from the sun, from water, but also solar, like so solar, wind, and some water. It creates some damage, but it still works. So I've seen this crazy thing, and Sai and I have looked into it a little bit. Well to wheel, which is really interesting. So that would be the whole process of making an electric vehicle, meaning from sourcing the materials, creating the battery, to then it dying, and then you will taking it apart and recycling some of these components, remelting it, whatever, and how much efficient that is compared to an ICE vehicle. So yeah, you can actually recycle most of it, and most batteries nowadays are recycled. So even though there are chemicals in batteries, I mean, it's still not like crazy bad for the environment as much as ICE vehicles. So that being said, that's what we figured out, right, Sai?
Yes.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like complicated.
It is very complicated, but in a way, we are working on a better option. And since EVs are so new, yes, we need to develop newer things to make it better and to make it more recyclable in that way. I mean, of course, it's the same as why we're probably not in nuclear, because all the waste is really bad. But as soon as we find a way to take care of that waste, nuclear is going to be way better. I mean, seriously, like what could be better than nuclear? I think nothing. Okay, so that being said, powered by renewable energy. So what's the impact of renewable energy on EVs and all that? Yes, it is the footprint, like everybody's been saying. So Chris Pankage as an EV, because, well, that lowers his carbon footprint just because, which is great. Which is really great. It makes a difference, so you should take it. You should be on board. If for you it's a possibility, why not? It's still better than a gas vehicle for climate change, for the world, for your accessibility and usability. Less cost and maintenance, less cost if electricity is cheaper for you than gasoline where you live right here, right now. You got your own electricity pump at home. You can just literally plug it in and then you're good. Those are really good incentives, like really good incentives. So number 3, efficiency of EV drives. We talked about this at the beginning of the podcast because somebody mentioned it in the live comment section. And if you haven't commented yet, Make sure you do. Pop your cherry. Comment right here, right now. It's super easy. Take a break from just listening and go and type something because we're a community. We want everybody to interact. We love it when people start talking and have debates. This is why this podcast is here. It's to steer things up. To make sure that we have every opinion possible because Sai and I are kind of on the same side with everything, right?
Yeah. Especially with someone who doesn't drive.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective because I don't understand a lot of things. But I think it's good. It's good knowledge and it makes sense in my head. So, yeah.
So we just need more Chris Pankage out there, and we need more people to argue with us or to add to our argumentary or commentary, making it so if you have information about electric vehicles while you wait to get your EV full up, make sure that you leave a comment because that's just what we're looking for. Whole bunch of comments. Okay, so the efficiency of EV motors, that is exactly what you talked about in the beginning of the podcast. An electric motor is just more efficient than a gas motor. It's just like that. It's physics, okay? It's more efficient. Less moving parts, less oil, less all of that stuff, less maintenance. It's more efficient. Instant torque. There's nothing. You got the battery and then it depletes and it creates power. That's it. Nothing else is in there. So efficiency, bam. Now, less energy consumed. Totally less energy consumed. Like in general, like somebody in the comment section was saying that it's like if you use 80%, so you only get 20% in the end. That's a gas vehicle because of the heat you need to create this movement, and all of this energy needed to create this movement is just more than you would need for an electric vehicle. Not when towing. Okay, so towing is completely different. That would be like towing. So you're pulling something. And then torque is not horsepower, so we get that. Instant torque does not mean that you have the horsepower. So it's a bit different. Now, batteries when towing, different. That's why they're working on other type of batteries and other things so that semis and big trucks like Amazon delivery and all that, well, they can do that by towing. Just like Chris Pankage is saying, it's not doable. I mean, with my Volt, I did have a hitch on it, and I did tow my trailer and 2 motorcycles. But also, I saw when I was in Manning Park Resort, I saw a Tesla with a little camper. I guess it was a camper. It was like a small camper, right side. Did you see that? It had like a little drop of water camper type of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
So it was small, but it was there, and the model, I think it was Model S. It was pulling it. I'm not saying it depletes like fast or not fast, but it's the same if you were to put a gas vehicle. It would cost you more gas if you're pulling something. That being said, I know that again you need to check with the model you have, because even with a gas vehicle, some motors are not meant to tow that much. That's why you need a F-150 or you need like one of these SUVs if you want to be able to tow more, because these motors have been designed for you to be able to tow, whereas other motors, like if you get a Yaris, maybe you put a bike rack on there, a hamburger on top, but that's it. You don't want to tow stuff with that. That motor is gonna it doesn't want to tow things. It's not a towing motor. This is what you need to know. That being said, there are potential energy savings when you decide to buy an EV, because, well, all of these amazing benefits. Okay, so there's tax credits, there's all of that, but there's also the facts that maybe your electricity is already clean and renewable electricity, just like here in BC. And when you go charge, when you go plug in your EV, you're not even using coal energy, which is still less polluting to have an EV than you have the gas vehicle, but you would still be like pushing or enforcing all of this renewable energy to be awesome. So what do you think about that? Make sure that you tell me. In the live comment section. We got Snoopsy, who says they called teardrop campers first made back in the 1940s. I know, but it just looked like a teardrop, right? They're just like... This is funny. It looks like that. And I'm not talking about the silicone stuff. Okay. Carl says, Piper told me to type something and try never disappoint. Yeah, it's true, Carl. So you go ahead. Electric motors are and always have been the largest use of electricity. Just a fun fact I learned in one of my electrical classes. Well, thank you very much, Carl, for putting this info in. I had no idea. But it makes a lot of sense that electric motors would be like the most famous motors because we have AC/DC, not the band, but everything since, well, the avenue of electricity has been electric. So everything that is kind of moving or is doing something has a motor in it, and most of them are powered by electricity. Some of them are not moving. It's not a motor. Like your toaster is not a motor, right? It's not literally moving. But still, interesting fact. 2 interesting RVs I'm interested in. Yeah, you told us, Robin, in the other one, the Pebble Flow and the ETH. Okay, thank you for saying that. Chris Pankage says tax days are numbered. Yeah, it is true. They will not be around forever because we have enough people that have adopted electric vehicles. So now we're getting into kind of like going into mass market, meaning we want people to buy EVs, yes, but we don't need the incentives anymore. People are just like, EVs are getting out there. How come I know? We got a channel. While you wait for your EV to charge or to purchase your very first electric vehicle, make sure that you give us a listen. We have a podcast playlist that is called While You Wait. Click on any title that you fancy on that day. Maybe it's not the podcast of the day. Maybe it's another one, because we have a whole bunch of podcasts and a whole bunch of subjects that we really dive deeper into. And we have real life commentators, real life people in the live comment section that interact with us every single day, making it a lot more interesting and also giving you real life feedback from their own experiences. Like Chris Pankage, who has literally like had some EVs that is talking in there. Then we have also, well, Carl, who's thinking about it and went to Ford to see how costly was the F-150, and Robin Petit, who is actually waiting for the Aptera, which is a solar powered vehicle. So this gives you like real people, real information for real people, which is quite interesting. RP says California ended their primary EV incentive. That makes sense. There's a lot of EVs in California. Even on the West Coast, we've been seeing a lot, right, Sai?
Yeah, that's true.
It's been happening. That's why we counted them.
Yeah, but when we're counting, they're not that much. It's like they know. But we've been seeing them a lot.
But every time you go outside, you see one.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why these other guys, they copied our idea because it's a good idea to go and count them.
Yeah.
See how many are really like located in your neighborhood. How many EVs are there? And when you start to notice them, you'll notice that, there are more and more and more because people are adopting them for many various reasons. Like, again, can be climate. But I think that most EV adopters did not early adopt because of climate. They just liked it. They had this EV experience and they freaked out because really when you drive an electric vehicle, it is more comfortable, it is less sound, it is instant torque, and then again you can plug it at home. Come on, people, why else would you want that? So which leads us to point number 4. Don't fall asleep on me, people. This is all happening. Okay, battery breakthroughs. Are you ready for battery breakthroughs? So the thing is, even within the last 15 years, there's been so much breakthroughs in battery. Just the way that they would put the battery in the vehicle, for one. Then, the changing the battery. So you need to change the battery when it degrades. It's a bit like, whatever type of things you have in your drawers in your room that need battery changing. Well, you need to change it at one point. You can recharge the battery too. Some batteries are rechargeable. Super easy. But then what happens with that? That means that battery power and battery efficiency has been on the rise. We came from, I'm gonna need you to Google this, but we came from this lithium battery, and now it's lithium iron phosphate or something like that. So it has evolved within just that short amount of time because more and more people and more companies are developing electric vehicles. Not just the big names out there, not just Honda, but literally smaller companies have started to be only within EVs, like Polestar, Rivian, Lucid, BYD. I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other that I'm not even naming right now. Tesla is one of them too, and they all have engineers, mechanics, and chemists that are working on having more efficient batteries, so that it's going to cost them a lot less money for sure to produce, and it's going to make it more affordable for you, as well as having these battery changes be as little as possible. Again, the whole point is never to pollute, not with the consciousness that we all have right here, right now on this earth. it would be to be the best possible. Again, I mean, there's no 0%, right? There's no 0%, but it's happening.
They also came out with something called solid state batteries.
Yeah.
These batteries use a solid electrolyte instead of a liquid one, which makes them safer and more durable.
Okay, so that's already happening. I think in BYD or something like that. So
Yeah.
they're using these batteries and they're changing the chemistry of it. They're changing everything in them to make them better. So how are they making better? Well, they're making it more affordable for sure, for the company, but also for you. If the company pays less for the production of these batteries and of these cars or SUVs or pickup trucks that you will drive that are EVs, well, you'll see the end price being way smaller on your end too, and that's what you want. Because at the beginning, EVs were just too expensive for most people to be able to even think about. But now they're getting into that range where if you're thinking of buying a vehicle, there's a possibility that's going to be more in your price range. Yeah, which is really interesting.
And also, I think with the EVs, since the environment is an aspect of it, whether people like it or not, and that's how they were pushed initially. Now people, every time a new EV or something advancement happens, people are looking for it to be better for the environment, for climate change, right? They are expecting that. So even the big corporation and big companies have to keep that in mind, even if they don't like that, because they just want to sell the cars. They have to make sure whatever they're coming out, they have to be like, oh, this is good for the environment. So that's another aspect. Like in 10 years, they will be much better for the environment.
Yeah. So you need this consciousness because it's already there. So meaning that in your ads or as a company culture, it has to be there. If you don't have that as a message for your brand, even the people that aren't for the environment are not going to buy it. It's kind of like the new normal. We have set this new bar as a standard and we need to respect it now. It's like every political party has something with the environment. They all have it. Like, so it's not that we don't need a green party anymore, but even the parties that are not green are greener than they were 50 years ago. This is the new standards, people. So that being said, Robin Petit said solid state batteries still have some issues that limit their use, but progress is rapid. Well, yeah, we're working on it. Carl says, yesterday at breakfast, I saw the Mercedes EV for the first time. It was very nice. Oh, thank you for sharing. And then Robin Petit says, I'm invested in a salt wall battery for home use called Next Bolt. Oh, thank you for sharing, Robin. Well, maybe go further into that because this is very interesting about the battery. So batteries are getting better. Yes, that means shorter charging time, longer range. And better battery, just better, meaning that, yeah, less carbon footprint. Better for the environment, better for you. Okay, the fact that we're gonna go over real fast, but that could be fact number 5, would be oil independence. Meaning to have these EVs, to have batteries, makes it so that, yes, climate change is affected by oil, gasoline, petroleum, and all that process because of CO2, pollutants, and all of that. But some countries and some people like us, well, might just want for that to become lower. So to have other possibilities, other availabilities, to not depend on solely one energy source. And that's where EV becomes interesting because it gives you a little bit more. It's finally becoming to a point where we have choices. Even in the automotive industry, you have a choice to buy an ICE vehicle or an EV vehicle because before that, you did not have any choice. It was just gasoline, that's it. But maybe for your situation, that was not the best thing. It was not the most cheaper, it was not the most efficient. But now you have this choice, which is amazing. So depending on your geography and the geopolitics where you're at, maybe EV is better for you, for climate, and just for you in general. Okay, renewable evolution, meaning that everything that has to do with renewable energy. Of course, we've heard that some people are saying that well, the EV and the grid. So let's go into like EV and the grid. Because the people say, oh yeah, but if everybody charges, then there'll be no more electricity for everybody else. Well, slow down, okay? Slow down. First things first, we are changing that. And so it takes a while. We can't just have like not everybody tomorrow is going to switch their car for an EV, and then we're going to have no more room at the supercharger, right? It doesn't happen overnight like this. It takes time for things to change, but we need to have the possibility for people to be able to do that. Meaning, yes, we had these incentives, and yes, well, some of them have worked, and now some superchargers are busier than others. And a bit like when you go put gasoline in your vehicle, you need to wait a few minutes for the one pump to be, free. So far, I have to say, every time I've been charging, I haven't had much issue in waiting time or things like that. Every time I went there to charge, I was fine. And then, well, now that batteries are better and that some newer models are there, probably you'll have to wait maybe 20 minutes maximum. And that's I know, that's long for some people still. But it's getting better. Soon we'll be able to fully charge within 20 minutes, 15 minutes even, which makes it so that that's kind of nothing. For you to have accessibility to a supercharger, it's going to take like no time. Now, the fact that EVs are like getting to somewhere and that renewable energy is there, it's a bit like what Sai was saying. Like we are getting to this spot where it's not like you can say that EVs are just there and not do anything for the environment. They kind of simultaneously growing together. Renewable energy, the way we think of the planet and of like our footprint and all that carbon footprint, well, it's coming in kind of nicely, right? So what do you have to say about this in the live comment section? We got Chris Pankage, that's energy independence. It all starts there. The grid is nowhere near ready. Well, that's the thing. So again, you can't just have everybody stop something all at once. It's never like that. It's in the movies like that, but it's never like that in real life. Never will everybody just stop doing something. You always have people who are gonna be slower at it. That's why they're saying, like Tesla is saying, that early adoption is over. Now they're getting into mass adoption. That's what they're getting into. But there was early adoption. You can't just have mass adoption. That's called like, I don't know, a viral video. And that's completely different. That doesn't last, usually. I know it, I was one of those. So, V equal to grid. Let's talk about grid, Chris Pankage. Meaning that I really like that fact about energy storage. And the fact that the grid, like everybody's saying, the grid. Well, what if we take all that energy from the grid? Well, what if the grid can be your own home? Oh, really, Piper? How can I do that? Well, the thing is, Tesla has a power wall, which you can plug into a solar panel or a windmill or whatever you want to harvest energy in your own home and then take that energy, put it in the battery, which is the power wall, or put it in your vehicle, which would be your Tesla. And then your Tesla literally serves as a mobile energy storage device. How cool is that, Sai?
It's really cool, yeah.
I mean, it's cool, right? So you would have like all this energy that is stored in your device, because then your Tesla, you can plug your phone in it. Then you can plug your iPad.
Exactly. It just saves a lot of time and energy. So yeah, because you're like using the stored energy. So yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction. It will just, of course, everything takes time, but as you said before, like everything is going for the environment because just how people are now looking at that, right? So people want that, so.
Exactly. So the thing is, your car is just a big battery.
Exactly. So
and you can bring it wherever you want to charge whatever you want.
Charge your laptop and stuff like that. So it's just there. Yeah.
It's convenient.
It's convenient, and people love convenience.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Meaning that if you would be sort of kind of off the grid because you have this power wall, so you can take that electricity that you have home, even be off the grid. We're not saying like completely off the grid, go cabin in the woods style. But if you do have the power wall and you charge it from the grid at these hours that it's really low cost and low people usage, Well, it charges it, and then you have this power. This power is stored into your own home. So you are a bit more independent than someone who do not or does not have that. It's a bit like having a laptop versus having a desktop computer. Meaning with my laptop, I have close to 12 hours. So if something happens right here, right now, I can still take my laptop, go somewhere else, or find another power source and plug it in to have more energy, but I'm still gonna have about a 12-hour of energy. Maybe 7 if I use it like really intensely to watch movies and things like that. But if not, I could push it. I could push it if I'm really like clever about it. Put my light really low. Don't play music. Close some apps, which I'm really bad at. But like all of these things. Meaning that, yeah, your literal home could have a little bit of a buffer in that way. Which you could have gasoline in your home. I mean, you could. But this is a bit like different, you know? Yeah, in that sense. Chris Pankage says the 6 packs of power walls is $50,000. Yes, it is, but then you're off the grid. That's the thing. So this you need to amortize, I guess, on all these years. Definitely. No cells, no inverter, nothing. Yeah, I know. It's still very, very expensive because it's still in the beginning phase. Nobody has that off the grid thing. We do have some big buildings who have generators for when there are power outage. That would be a bit the same thing. Instead of having a generator, you would have a power wall, which is the same, different, nope. Electric appliances are similarly better. I'm not sure I understand. And then Chris Pankage, you are only allowed to use your stored power during an outage, period. I don't know about that. I mean, it depends. If you store power, let's say in your electric vehicle, and then your electric vehicle, which Tesla cannot do yet, but is supposed to be able to do it soon. I think there's a model from Hyundai who can do it. So meaning act as a power bank. Yeah. So all that power wall, the Cybertruck does it. Yeah, the Cybertruck does it. So would be able to actually get that energy, like that, store that power, and then give it back. So this is kind of really cool, right? California has heavy EV adoption, no problem with the grid. Okay, so that's what RP is saying. And then Chris Pankage says you cannot draw off of it when the power companies are working. Ask the representative when they hound you when you buy a new house. Then call Tesla. That's where my info comes. Okay, so you're saying that you can't use it yet. But I mean, okay, you can't.
That's
but
fine.
You will.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Exactly what you said. Is you will. It's not the end right now.
No, it's the beginning.
Really, really beginning stages. It's not. We're not gonna stop there. No one's stopping there. Everything takes time. Everything is super expensive and unaffordable first time it's introduced.
Yeah.
That's just how everything is. This is nothing new. So that's how it goes.
But then it would be better for the environment, for climate change, if you believe in it, like 64% of our viewers right here, right now. Well, it would be better to have this option to be off the grid. Because think of it that way. If everybody's a little bit more off the grid, and we're not talking about it like these big people, big companies don't want to make money, blah, blah. No, we're talking if everybody's a little bit off the grid, well, we don't need to move that energy. So we're not losing it in moving it. It is better for the planet. It is better for everybody to be a bit more independent in that way. It doesn't mean that these big companies are going to do that right here, right now, and doesn't mean that every human right here, right now has the means to do that and to be independent, but it is a better scenario in that way. The way we are evolving, it would be better for everybody to be a bit more independent. I mean, just the light that we're getting from the studio right here, right now, if all of that face of the building was literally a solar panel, I'm sure we could definitely have a few of our outlets be generated by that, because it's just so much sun, it's so much energy. And in the cities we are seeing a little bit more of these like green rooftops, these solar panels on like these buildings, because it's accessible. Like there's nothing to do shade except for airplanes and clouds when there's clouds, because these high rises have nothing else to lose. And that's why I think like Elon Musk did actually like built these little solar panels that you could put as your rooftop, literally your rooftop, because you're just like losing all of this possible energy thing that you would have, which makes it super interesting, right? Okay, so Chris Pankage says that is the contract. Well, it's good to know that it's in the contract. We had no idea. So to act as Powerwall, you need a two-way charger interface. Thank you, Robin, for adding that. Otherwise, the power company will not install the inverter, and you can get a permit. Well, it makes sense that they're doing it like a generator right now. But again, like Sai and I are saying, I'm sure that very soon you will be able to be more off the grid. Right now, so what they want to do, I think, with the not off the grid thing is for safety reasons. So when they put a line there, they want you to have it.
If everybody takes water at the same time,
Yeah.
it's hard on the pipe.
Yeah.
But if you fill out your pitcher,
Exactly.
you don't fill out.
So it's not bad.
It's the same
And
thing with the electricity.
it's the same thing.
Take electricity at the same time.
And it's what they're working on, even with the applications for here BC Hydro, and in Quebec I've heard that too with Hydro-Québec. These applications are making you play games because they want to minimize the time that people are all on the grid at the same time. It's too much for the grid. It's just too much. They can't produce enough energy because of climate change, because in the summer it's so hot that everybody's running their AC, and that creates like strain on the pipeline, let's call it like that. Same thing for the winter. Winters are too cold, so people are putting the heat on, and then all that heat is creating a big strain on the pipeline. So by having a power wall or by having a generator would act as this like not last resort, but will take off some of that strain on the actual grid. And I think that some power companies are kind of understanding that right now, and they are scared of not being able to fulfill the demand in energy because there is an increasing demand in energy, and that is not really just from electric vehicles. It's actually because of climate change and because it's getting hotter, so people need more AC, and it's getting actually colder in the winter, so people need more heat, and those two things cost a lot of energy to produce. Like producing cold actually emanates heat way more than producing warmth. Like producing warmth produces heat, which makes it more warm, which is awesome. But if you plug in AC, you'll see that all of this like conversion is creating heat. So you're trying to like literally make cold with hot. Imagine that. And that's why cities get so hot in the summer, because even when you run AC, you're creating heat. How crazy is this? So we need to find a way to reduce all of that climate change, all of these like carbon footprints, so that we can literally lower all of it and live in a city where we don't literally melt. Okay, this is so cool. Stay right here because we're gonna have a dad joke for you, right, Sai?
Yes.
It's gonna be so fun. Now, what do you think? We got 22 votes, and 64% of people say that they do believe in climate change, and so that leaves us with 36%. 63, it just changed. 63% of people say yes, we believe in climate change, and 36% say no. On 22 votes on the podcast, while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge, make sure that you tune in to the podcast because we like to talk about everything related to electric vehicles and well, the future in general of energy and also of the planet. Yeah, well, at least the future in which we are still alive on the planet. This is kind of what concerns us right here, right now. Now, Chris adds 64% also believe in Santa, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy. Well, that depends. I'm not sure we have kids here on the channel.
Do they? Like, kids don't count.
No, they don't.
That's the whole point of being a kid, right? You're dumb. So when you grow up, hopefully you're not. And then you don't believe in those things. So the poll concerns adults.
Adults only. The poll was adults only. I'm sure Kwame could not like literally, press that button. We have RPU says better to just have two 120 volt outlets on your EV, much cheaper. Again, it depends on what your aim is. Your aim can be to literally power tools, or your aim can be to just power your smartphone. That'd be completely different. But if we go to that amazing world where your car could power your house, That'd be kind of crazy. And that is a possibility for your electric vehicle. When in periods of high demand from the grid, you would be able to use your electric vehicle as a power bank, like literally as a battery. And then for your house to deplete your car when it's in high usage, because you're kind of storing that electricity. And then when it becomes like, I don't know, better, when the grid is not like super too many people want it, your car recharges and bam, you got it like that. So this is something for people who have EVs to consider, that's what people want to do. I'm sure this is one of the options for your EV to act as a generator, but also just as a way for the grid to have less demand. Because right now my EV is just parked. It's there. It has battery in it, and it could be used right here, right now to power my podcast. And I would not be using the grid for that right here, right now on a Monday at 1:28 p.m., which could help the grid, which could literally help other people get energy because I don't need it. I've already stored it. I've already got that energy from someplace else. Yeah. So that's a think about it, think about it. Okay, Sai, have you got this dad joke for us?
I got it.
Okay, awesome. Let's
Why
hear
did the climate change denier bring a fan to the beach?
Why did the climate change denier bring a fan to the beach? To cool off the non-deniers?
No.
To cool the ocean?
No.
To prove that it can be colder?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
To blow away the evidence of rising sea levels.
That's funny. To blow away. So you just take that fan and blow all of that away, just like that.
Exactly. I don't see it.
Okay. So it blows away. Like a
blows
tsunami,
away.
But in reverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Has that been working for them recently?
No, ask Chris.
Chris, has it been working for you? Blowing away like all of that? Like, so can you still see it, not see it? Total fire hazard. RP, cheaper, also get a... Okay, great. So we're talking about like the physics of everything. Kwame is into Disney princesses now. Oh, poor her.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's gonna roll over, or she's gonna want like that fake charming guy that does not exist. So better make her watch some Pixar. I think Pixar might be like really good
Pixar
for her
is
brain.
Awesome.
Take it from two women that have grown with like Disney princesses. Yeah, not really. You
debatable.
never really liked Disney, right?
Not really, because I never really watched it.
No.
And I was never a fan when I did watch it. I never even had a Barbie, which was not by choice. But still, I never had a Barbie either.
So good for Kwame. Let her believe like in Santa and all that stuff. But then again, at one point, I do think we need to make something with guys so that they don't feel that emasculated. And the Prince Charming is definitely not a guy. It's just like a gay version of a girl or something. So we need to do something about
a gay guy.
Yeah, the Prince Charming is just like a gay guy.
Okay.
Which is great, but gay
Then
guys
good for
don't usually date heterosexual women.
The times were hard for him. No one accepted it in those times. So he had to marry a girl.
He had to marry a princess. But now, I mean, he can be gay and do his gay stuff. So go ahead. Don't marry a princess. Find your own true love. And for women to be with guys, if they want real guys, like a guy's a guy, not a Prince Charming fairy princess thing. Okay, but that's it for Two Girls, One Electric Car. Make sure that you tune in to our podcast because it is broadcasted live. Oh yeah, at 12 p.m. Pacific time, that's Vancouver time, from Monday to Friday with myself, Piper, and
Sai,
my awesome researcher. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, please do share this video with everybody you know. Super easy. Just click that share button right underneath. Definitely not a princess. Sorry, not a princess at all.
No, not a princess.
Did you have a favorite though?
Not really.
No.
Maybe Cinderella is like